Mandy Curry with Healthy Kids Inc. Welcome back. Okay, 'tis the season to start planting your own herbs at home. This is a great way to flavor up your dishes, and it's really good for the kids as well. But if you're anything like me, you plant the herbs and then you don't know what to do with them, and you have such an abundance of them. So today we're going to show you how to make a very fresh basil pesto and how to use your basil to your advantage. So this year we have a great outdoor container garden going on our deck. We've got basil planted in between our tomato plants, and then just another basil plant altogether with some oregano. So it's great, it's doing really well, but now I've got to find some great uses for the basil. So today we're going to show a very simple basil pesto. The pesto here is going to be simple. All we're going to be using is our fresh basil leaves, about 2 cups of it. Looks delicious. We just picked these. And you can see how nice and tender the leaves look. We're not even going to wash them off. I'm just going to take a wet paper towel and just go ahead and just take out any type of excess dirt that might be on the leaves. I'm not going to drench them in water. That keeps them nice and crisp. Perfect for this. We're going to be using about 2 cloves of garlic, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, about a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, and then a third a cup of any type of nuts that you want. So the nuts that we're going to be using today is a mixture of pine nuts and also some unsalted cashews. Again, you can use one or both. It doesn't really matter, but nuts is the next ingredient that really helps this pesto come together. So we're going to be using a little bit of both of those. The nuts that we chose here, we have organic cashews that are unsalted. The only thing on the ingredients list is simply cashews. The same for the pine nuts as well, because we're trying to avoid all the oils and the salts and all the extra additives that we don't really need. So very simple and a really healthy pesto that we're going to pull together. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and with our basil leaves. That's going to be the start of this. I'm going to fill this up with that. Then we're going to go in with our freshly grated Parmesan cheese on top. I did have a little bit of minced garlic here. You don't have to mince the garlic before you put it in here, but I do. And then finally, we're going to go in with a little bit of our nuts. So we have a third cup of a mixture of both cashews and pine nuts that we're going to be using. So first, and then I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this, just a taste. Doesn't need much. Okay, so we have everything included in here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mix this up a little bit. Then we're going to add the extra virgin olive oil at the end. Okay, so we've pulsed it, looks great. Now we're gonna go ahead in with the extra virgin olive oil. This is about 1/4 of a cup. We may or may not even need all of that. So we're gonna start here with about half of that. Just gonna drizzle that around, and we're gonna continue to pulse this up. Okay, I'm just mixing this around a little bit. We're gonna finish it out with the rest of our oil, and then this is done. All right, let's blend a little bit more. Okay, so that is everything that we need to finish out this pesto. It is so simple and it's delicious. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna show you 2 different ways that we are using this pesto. You also can freeze this. It's really great to go ahead and freeze if you have a large batch of it. But we're going to show you 2 different ways that we use this. One is super healthy, the other is great and kid-friendly as well. So we're going to go ahead and get these plated up for you, and we'll show you the finished products in just a moment. Okay, so we wanted to show you 2 different ways that you can use your new basil pesto with your kids. So if you have some picky eaters and maybe some kids who aren't into basil pesto yet, what I recommend is starting with something that they're familiar with. So in our case, they're very familiar with pasta and chicken. So we're going to use that, and we're going to flavor up what they're used to, which is pasta and chicken, with a little bit of our basil pesto. Really simple. This is great to get them over the hump, and they're going to love this. I would call this phase 1. After they get used to the basil pesto, then you might want to put it onto some chicken again, or to some salmon or some fish. Then you can try the next phase, and in this case we went ahead and just used zucchini in place of the noodles, and you can see how delicious this is. So we went ahead and just used our spiralizer. We went ahead and made some noodles with the zucchini. We tossed it with the pesto and our cooked chicken, and that is it. So this is another great healthy option for you and your family. So those are a couple of ideas for your basil pesto, and then if you have some leftovers, it freezes really well, and we love to put extra pesto in these little 1/4 cup containers with lids, and they can easily go into the refrigerator or into the freezer. Pull them out as you need them. Okay, so that takes care of how to make fresh basil pesto with your abundance of basil that you're going to grow this summer. Hope that you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below and also check out our Healthy Kids Inc. meal planner at healthykidsinc.com. Okay, we'll see you again real soon.